What's good, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, the podcast where we get to speak to incredible gamers across the globe. I cannot believe we are on the 4th season of this podcast. It's mad. This is the reason why I started my YouTube. So it means a lot that we continually do this and we have incredible people on the show, just like the incredible gamer we have today, because we have a Twitch streamer. He is a gaming enthusiast that likes to bring that positive energy. We're talking part of Black Twitch UK. He's hella mellow unless it's Terror Tuesday. Mellow Verse. Welcome to Too Many Games and Not Enough Time. What's going on, my G?
Hey, what's good, Midas? I appreciate you bringing me on, man. And yeah, bro, everything is going on, but not everything at the same time.
You know what? It's so funny because you say that and I completely understand. I completely understand of being in the place in life where you're so busy and you're doing so many things, but you're like, there's so much things I need to do. And there's so much more I need to do, but you're like, I'm doing bare things. Where am I gonna get time to find to do them?
Where's the time, bro? Trust me, that's exactly where I'm at. But all is blessed, man. All is blessed. I'm still getting the gaming in, so I can't complain.
Exactly. That's the main thing. So let's start with the gaming. So I've been watching some of your Twitch streams. I'm aware of you from some mutual friends in the gaming industry. So Static Dancing Gamer and Prolific the Gaijin, both like really dope creators. They both went on Too Many Games, and that's how I'm aware of you from them. But like me as a creator, actually watching your stuff is checking out your stream. So how did the enthusiasm of actually creating gaming content? So we're not even going to go as far as back as what made you want to play games. We'll talk about that little piece later. But what is it that made you say, wow, do you know what? I actually want to get into this content space. I don't just want to enjoy games for myself.
Well, yeah, the craziest thing is that I've always known about Twitch from whenever it started. I knew about Twitch and everything it was doing on that platform. But I still wasn't, and YouTube as well, I still wasn't really interested in creating content. And my background is I'm a choreographer / dancer, so that's also how I know Static and Prolific. And for me, it wasn't about, I don't know, I just enjoyed playing games. And then, of course, lockdown hit, and I just connected with so many other people that were gamers, but also were interested in creating content. And they just sort of put me onto it. And I was like, I've always known about Twitch because I love games and it keeps me in the loop. But I never thought I would be doing it. But then when I tried it, it took me differently, bro. Like just creating something out of something that I purely can get lost in. But then now I'm creating, if you can say, another narrative on top of it. But then it's just me being me. It was just felt so organic. So if anything, it was just like mutual friends that were just getting involved. And I was like, let me just see what happens. And then it felt like natural. And felt like, yeah, this is something I think I really want to do. And I think that's it, really.
I think that's the dopest part. Like, just to literally be like, obviously, we love gaming. We've loved gaming from we was little, and it's a huge part of our lives. But actually to be able to be like, raw, I'm now part of somebody's gaming journey. So like, someone might have, the first time they've actually watched a certain kill that you've done in Warzone, or like the first time they're seeing a horror game because of a stream that you're doing and you putting them onto that, you're actually part of somebody's gaming journey, which is mad. Like to think, it's almost like thinking of first time you watch IGN or going super far back, like opening up a Games Master magazine or something like that, like proper taking it out. Like you are that for somebody else.
And that is what sometimes makes me think, what? Like, but it's a beautiful feeling, and it's also a beautiful thing that can be done on that platform and on many platforms that are out there. But it's crazy to know what can be done now with gaming, and I think that's really what's helped me keep going as well, you know. I love that. Itself. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the games that you really love to stream. What are some of the games that have really become parcel and parcel of you as a content creator, and really kind of kept you focused into, yeah, I love playing this game on stream. I love to kind of share this with my audience and my community and the people that love what I do?
So I think my main game that has never left the whole stream since I've started is Call of Duty. It's that game. I don't know what it is. I think as much as there's so much toxic words that get spoken about it around it and people complain about the updates, etc., but I feel like the greatest thing about the game is when you are playing with friends and the type of communication that you're having with these friends, and also the strategy that goes into the game to actually win a game. And then sometimes the loss and the feeling and the bants, the jokes, everything that comes with that game, I think has allowed me to keep that game going all throughout the time I've started streaming and creating content on it. And then alongside that, it's been a few challenges here on the horror games, which horror games is like, I got a love-hate relationship with horror. I love movies. Then it comes to the game, that takes me somewhere else, which I never ever thought I would ever feel or experience. But horror games is like the things that really that grounds me for the Mellow Verse streams, and I feel like it grounds the whole community. Funny enough, even though we all hate it, but it's something that really connects us all and makes us laugh, and then talk about it in the future.
That's dope. I like what you said as well, as like in terms of Warzone and how it can be toxic and stuff like that, but how you also find the banter. Like I was watching one of your streams and I was cracking up because someone must have said that, tried to say that you stink or something. He was like, oh, thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I just bought this new fragrance. It made me. So you're also taking the power away from their toxicity and kind of bringing that within your community. So I think that's super dope. But listen, the horror games are mad. I'm the same. I've got such a love-hate relationship with horror games. There's certain horror games that I play that I love. Like I love Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil 2 is probably my favorite horror game. Like I love The Evil Within. Like The Evil Within is so sick. I can't do the first-person horror games. They're just too much. I literally can't do them. Like the Outlast and all of them kind of stuff. I can't even do the new Resident Evils like 7 and that because it's first person. And I think the reason why it hits you so much and the reason why gamers love games is because you feel like you're that character. So when you're watching a movie, you're away. You might jump from a jump scare and something, but like if there's some mad thing in a movie, you're not feeling like it's actually there doing it to you. But when you're playing a game, when you're in Resi and you're running through that, hey, it's trying to nyam my claw. You get me? You're trying to nyam you. So like it's horror games are sick, and it makes me laugh how many people actually love it and find it exciting to think a zombie's gonna no fam. I don't find that exciting. I'll play it, but there's no exciting for me feeling like something's gonna nyam my claw. You get me?
Bro, there is no excitement at all. But this is it. This is the funniest thing, is that before any of this, you never catch me playing a horror game. Bro, I'm from South Brixton, through and through, bro. You never catch me do it. But then trust me, as soon as I got onto the streaming, and then I was like, all right, let me try one. And what was the first one? Outlast. Alien Isolation.
You was like, let me just jump in the deep end. And do you know what's the worst thing about Alien Isolation? It's not even like to say it's a horror game in a traditional sense or thing, but it's scary because you ain't got no weapons or you got minimum stuff. You can't do nothing. All you got to do is hide, fam. It's almost, to be honest with you, it's
real
almost
life.
Probably the realistic most horror movie, because like if a zombie apocalypse happened right now, you might be able to lick off 2 zombies here or there, but you're not going to be able to take out thousands of zombies like they do in this game.
All I got is 1 cup. I got 1 cup to lick 1 zombie down, bro. And then I got my 2 feet.
and then it's doing 10 toes.
10 toes out. But yeah, like honestly, like them horror games, I think those are the Call of Duty, and the horror games have been something that has definitely sustained like just creating content. And also DayZ. DayZ is another great game I like to play on stream and play with a few friends that I create a lot of content, and that's mainly on the YouTube side of stuff I'm working that on rather than Twitch. That's where I feel like I'm really been enjoying the creation of the content through DayZ, because you can create your own storyline. And if you got friends, you can also involve them in the sense of role playing, acting type of vibe. But it's definitely a nice way to create, you know.
Yeah, I like that. All right, let's take it back. Let's take it back to Little Mellow before you was getting scared in horror games and before you knew to dancing movements and anything. What's one of the games from you when you was younger that really stand out to you that you remember being a big impact in your life? So it doesn't have to be your favorite game, just something you remember from you was younger that really impacted you.
Final Fantasy VII. Bro,
jeez, let's get into it.
This game changed my life as a kid. It's the first game that I held and I was like, this is so many discs. Okay, let me sit on the toilet and read this book. Like, you know, like it's one of those games that taught me about love, about having friends that are in a team, and about rebelling, like little things that I took from that at a young age. I was like, yo, what is this? That broke my innocence, but in a safe way.
Yeah.
In a safe way, without breaking it, like with no responsibility. That was like, yeah, this is how I can understand the world a little bit more before I really start. And yeah, it took me for hours upon hours, and I could always go back to that game. Even now, I've got it on my Switch and I'm still running through it, like just because it's just that nostalgia feeling. But yeah, that's like the one game that I vividly remember just sitting down every day, playing it. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII, man.
Listen,
you got me there.
you already know me. I'm like, Final Fantasy VII is everything to me, and I love whenever I talk to people about FF7. It's such a weird game because if you think like being younger, like it's a game which is turn-based, so you have to take your time to attack. It's a game that had two different types of graphic styles, because you had a really sick graphic style when you're fighting, but you was walking around looking like triangles and squares and stuff like that. But Square Enix did such an incredible job of inclusion, like being able to have a black character being
diversity,
with the love story between, almost a love triangle between Aerith and Tifa and Cloud, and Cloud with this mad huge sword, and you're like, what? Like they was able to capture the heart of so many gamers, whether it be kids or adults, to the point where now it's still beloved as one of the most beloved franchise ever, and they just did something so right with that game. And there's a few games that when I think about that really impact me like that, like FF7, like Ocarina of Time, like those games that really stay with me today. And if you think when we was young, we was playing bare games, like playing bare games, because you'd play the games that you'd have. If your cousins or your brethren would come to your yard, they would bring games. And you remember when we was young, like you might go and stay at your aunties or something, and you're bringing your console with you.
I'm bringing my thing with me.
Yeah, you're bringing your with you. You pack up your PS1 or your Super Nintendo, whatever, and you take it to your cousins and stuff. So, or you go to like a Blockbuster and you rent a game. So we played plenty of games, but to think how much those experiences carry with you to today, where you're like, rah, you can play it on your Switch, like just for nostalgia and just to get that dopamine of how it makes you feel. So they've done a good job. How gassed are you for Rebirth?
Bro, I'm so gassed. Like, I can't wait. I got to play a little bit at Comic-Con and I'm so excited. I'm at the moment, I'm running through number 10 and I'm gonna try and run through 15 before, and then try and get through a remake before the end of February. Just because. I don't know why. Just because.
At the beginning of this podcast, this guy was like, I ain't got no time on my hands. Raw, let me just go and play all these 100-hour games.
Bro, it's one life, man. I gotta try it. But honestly, it's one life, so I gotta try. But you know, I'm trying to just like dibble and dabble, man, just to get that feeling. But 100%, I'm so excited for Rebirth, man. They've done such a good job from what I can see, anyway. And I don't have no doubt, anyway, they won't like bring it out the bag, like, and then some, boy. But yeah, I'm excited, bro. So excited.
10's one of my favorites as well. Final Fantasy 10 is my second favorite Final Fantasy. Like a proper like Tidus, and I'm calling him Tidus. My name's Midas, not, you get me? So I'm calling him Tidus. I'm not calling him Tidus. You get me?
Tidus, bro. That's how his name said.
No.
What? It's not Tidus.
Officially from Square Enix, it's Tidus, but it's spelled Tidus. My name's not Midas, fam. My name's Midas. So
it's
yeah,
Tidus, man. It's Tidus. I'm with you.
Anyway,
Tidus.
So like Tidus is one of my favorite. That's another game that really stands out to me.
Yeah.
I actually like 15, and I think 15 is really important because even though 15 wasn't great, I think they needed 15 to understand how to do real-time combat, because Final Fantasy 7 Remake for me has the best real-time combat in any RPG ever.
Yes, it does. I totally agree with you in terms of also the balance of it. Does have a moment where it's slowing down that
real-time bits.
That real time.
I mean the turn-based bits.
Yes, it is has that, but I think it still needed that. It needed that feeling. And like you said about 15, they were testing the waters, because you look at 16 and you're like, I understand everything. You look at me, you're like, I understand everything you're doing. So it had to be there. Like, and going back to 10 is definitely I feel like their next step from where they came from 7 and they delivered something, and then they 8 is really good as well. 9 is really good, but you saw 9, the graphics started to up a bit. 10, they took it at another level, and for me, that's where they really played with your heart, made you like think at the end, like moments where I feel like,
I'm not gonna lie though, I don't like the end of 10.
What? Okay.
I do. Like, I argue people with this all the time. I personally think the end of 10 is trash, and I think the reason why 10 isn't as high in my favorite games ever is because I don't like the end. Like the end for me was kind of spoiled it. But we're not gonna get into the ending because we don't want to get into it. We don't want to get spoilers for people. But yeah, I personally don't like the end. But if you think about it as well, what you said there is really poignant, because those were the times where Square were ahead of the curve with everyone when it came to working on consoles. Like what Square used to do with the cutscenes back then, nobody could do. Like they had the best looking PS1 game, and then with Final Fantasy X, that was like one of the best looking PS2 games. It was the first time we had full voice acting in an FF game. So they've always they were really ahead of the curve, and obviously the gaming landscape's changed and stuff like that. But I'm beyond excited for Rebirth. Like it's mad as well because February is usually a quiet month. And we got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, we got Persona 3 Reloaded, and we got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink all coming out. I'm like, can I live? Like, I'm the RPG Donny. Like, can I live? These are all gonna be like 100 hours, and like I got the plat in FF Remake, so I have to get the platinum in Rebirth. So that's gonna stress me out. I'm like,
hey, you're busy, bro. You're busy.
Yeah, but it's good. But one life, like you said, one life. You have one life to live, so you have to live it. You get me? You get
exactly.
Me? So we're running out of time. We're only a short form podcast. The time goes really quick.
It does.
But yeah, if like I love what you're saying about connecting with your community, having games that actually allow you to be able to game, because with family life, with the struggles of what's going on in the world, the economy and stuff like that, if you never had your Twitch channel, you maybe not of games so much. You maybe would be like, you know, I ain't really got time for this right now. But because obviously it's something you've kind of committed to, and a community that are there for you, it's been a thing where, well, do you know what, no matter what's going on in my life, I'm still going to be able to do that. So I commend you for that, man. That's big.
Oh no, thank you, bro. Like, I feel like for anyone that's doing content creation or streaming, it's a hard road, and it's always gonna be hard, but it's just about how you push through it. And that's one thing that's been hard, but the community, I feel, have always managed to keep me going. No matter if it's one stream this week, I'm gonna get out and make sure I connect with you lot, because you lot have been there and supporting me and wanting me to do this, because you see something in me as well as myself seeing something in myself. No, so
I love that. I
yeah.
love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, no, that's sick. That's a dope way to end it. Mellow, thank you so much
No
for
worries,
joining
brother.
me.
Thank
If
you.
people are feeling the vibe, they want to be part of the community, or they just want to see you get shook on a horror game for Terror Tuesdays, where can the people come and find you and connect?
So on Twitch, it's just Mellow Verse, MELLOW Verse, VERSE, and on Twitter, Mellowverse101, and that's the same for Instagram as well.
Exactly, just like that. And even me, I'm streaming now. Where do I get the time? I do not know, but I hugely appreciate all of you for joining me and Mellow Verse. I've been Mr. Midas, he's been Mellow Verse, and we out of here. Peace.